Hi, I'm Anthony Perosh from Sydney, Australia, with Croatian blood. So big shout out and hello to everyone in the Fight Channel in Croatia. Yeah, well, last Saturday I won my match, UFC 138, submitted Cyrille Diabate, and then day after came to Split, Croatia. That's where my parents are from. Well, my mum's from Croatian-Australian, next to Split. My dad's from Sholto. So I have a lot of uncles and aunties and first cousins to visit. So I spent a good 5 days in Split and Sholto, and now a couple of days here in Zagreb. Oh, I first met Igor almost 2 years ago now. Before the first UFC in Australia, and he's great all round, great striker, great wrestler, and his BJJ is coming up to a top level. I find it very hard to deal with him on the ground too. And I think he's got Zazinski matched in all areas. Whatever happens, I think Igor has a great plan for that match, and we'll get the victory. I was supposed to fight Christoph last June, and I was preparing for about a month before I found out I had a torn retina during my medical. So, Igor already knows that he likes being a straight line to striking, and he's got the striking covered. So we went over a little bit of wrestling, takedown defense, and BJJ attack and defense as well. Oh look, I was born in Australia, and I was born and bred in Australia. I'm Australian first. I'm Australian. Anyone who asks me, I'm Australian, but I'm very proud of my Croatian heritage. Yeah, I can speak conversational Croatian. So I can hold a conversation, no problem. I can't read or write, but I would like to one day. I'm just a bit lazy, but I can hold a good conversation. Yeah, I took the Cro Cop fight on 2 days' notice. He's Croatian. He's a big MMA and kickboxing superstar. And I couldn't say no. They offered it to me. How was I going to say no? Fighting in front of my home crowd on pay-per-view against a top fighter, I couldn't say no. So, and even though it was 2 days' notice, I was rewarded with a 4-day contract, and I lost the match. But when the UFC, they rewarded me, they gave me a good matchup at light heavyweight. I fought like a newcomer from England and got the win. And then last week I fought Cyrille Diabate. He had 1 win, I had 1 win. So whoever won that match would move up the ranks, and I've got the 2 wins now and move up the ranks. Oh look, he's a heavyweight, and I walked into that fight weighing as a light heavyweight because somebody else pulled out of the fight too. A light heavyweight pulled out, and I thought I was going to slip in to there. But they cancelled the light heavyweight match and put me with Cro Cop. So I was like, okay. And during the match, he's a top striker, so I wasn't going to stand in front of him. So I did a lot of running around and try to get underneath him for a takedown. But he has great takedown defense. But I think the main thing was too heavy. He felt very heavy. I think he was walking about 108 kilos, 110 kilos, and I was about 97, 98, and just wasn't. He did a good job. He did a good job stuffing my takedowns and keeping his distance. And he used his weight really well, and I just couldn't get an advantage. I think the first thing is going back to my age question is, I turned professional when I was 30, so I'm 39, but I had my first pro fight when I was 30, whereas, and I've only had 18 matches, Whereas Cro Cop, he was like world kickboxing champion, had many 30, 40 fights, and now he's had 20, 30 MMA fights. He's had 60, 70 fights, and that's quite a lot. That's quite a long career, and I think, you know, he's already been there, done that. World K1 champion, Pride champion. He's been there, done that. I don't think the passion is there anymore because he's already been there, done that. I think if Cro Cop entered the UFC when he entered Pride, you know, back in 2004, 2005, he would have cleaned up because he hadn't reached the top of MMA yet. So I think he just came to the end. That's all. I think Croatia and Australia, I think their passion for sport is amazing. Like, Croatians, like the top in, I can't believe how good they are, like basketball, water polo, handball, tennis. They have so many champions in so many sports for such a small country. And same with Australia. And I think it's just that passion. They just want to. It's just in the blood. I don't know what it is, but it's amazing. Oh, look, anything I do, I'm very competitive. You know, I run a martial arts business. You know, I want it to be the best. I'm a fighter. I want to be the best. So, at the moment, age doesn't play a part. I'm still passionate about it. I want to get better. I want to win. I don't. You know, when it comes to training, I want to train. So there's no age doesn't really play a big deal at the moment. I think when you wake up in the morning and you don't want to train anymore, it's time to retire. You know, or if you wake up in the morning and just everything hurts every day, I think it's time to retire. Believe it or not, I know it's everyone says that, but you know, I'm 39 years old and I can honestly say that I haven't been fitter or stronger or in my life, and you know, I credit that to having a healthy lifestyle and good coaches around, a good dietitian, a good conditioning coach, and good training plans around me to help me stay motivated. Oh, look, I've had a boxing coach for 1 year now. I think that was a big piece missing from my game. And I've only been trained for 1 year, so I still consider myself a beginner. I'm not thinking I'm a world boxing champion or anything, but I want to get better by boxing too. Because you know, when that bell rings and we touch gloves, I want my opponent to think, oh, you know, he could punch me. He's not going to just take me down. I want him to fear my punches before I take him down. So that's my goal. And, you know, now I've got this really good boxing coach. His name's Steve Rudic. Rudic is actually Croatian as well. I was born in Australia, but Croatian parents, so we've got a really good connection there already. Fighter is the goal is to become world champion. If that's not your goal, you shouldn't be there. So my goal is to just keep winning matches and get that title shot and become world champion. And if it doesn't happen, well, I'll give them my best shot. But I'm gonna, like I said, age doesn't matter as long as I keep winning and keep moving up the ranks. You know, that's my goal. Well, the thing is, a lot of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters are weak. Like they don't have the strength as a wrestler does, because a wrestler, all their life, they've just been lifting weights and taking people down, so they can kind of dictate the fight. They can decide, oh, I'll stand up or I'll take him down, whereas BJJ, they find it hard to take someone down unless they pull to guard or they get taken down. So my goal is I don't want to be one of those BJJ black belts. I want to, you know, I'm in the gym every day, you know, lifting weights, getting stronger, and my goal, and working on my wrestling every second day. And my goal is to take you down and use strength as well to take you down. I want to be as strong as a wrestler. That's my goal. As strong as a wrestler, but be a top BJJ black belt when it hits the ground. Look, I think I don't think any is more important than one another, but I think you have to be solid in two, maybe 2.5. Like for example, me, I'm a world-class grappler when it hits the ground, but I'm not going to get it to the ground if I get knocked out or if I can't take him down. So I'm going to use my boxing to stay safe, use my long hands and long punches, stay safe with my boxing, but then I have to take him down. But if I had to pick, I would say a wrestler always has a slight advantage. A wrestler always has a slight advantage because he can choose to stay on his feet or take it to the ground. Well, you know, like I said, my strategy was I'm not going to stand and bang with this guy. He's a 4-time former world Muay Thai champion, and he's much taller than I am, and he's very pinpoint. He's a like when you watch his past fights, he doesn't have the most powerful punches and kicks, but he's very accurate. So I wasn't going to stand in front of him and let him just, and for me to be a punching bag. I was just going to move left, move right, move left, move right, and just wait for an opening. And one of the openings I was practicing was catching a kick or ducking under a punch, slipping a punch and getting the clinch. So that's what happened in the first round. I caught his kick, took him down, but end of the round came, so I didn't have to do the second round. Second round, I slipped under one of his punches and we did a clinch and took him down with a clinch takedown. And second round, I had enough time to pass his guard. And like I said, his escapes weren't really that good, so I just had to take my time. He eventually gave up his back after some ground and pound and got the choke. Look, other fighters choose, you know, not to fight their friends, and I don't want to fight Igor. He's not just a training partner, he's a good friend too. There's no need for us to fight, especially this early in our career. You know, maybe down the track, if Igor has the world title and, you know, I'm the #1 contender, all right? You know, maybe not even then, but at this stage, it's silly. I'm not going to fight him. Again, I think that's a good striker versus wrestler match. You know, Shogun wants to keep it standing, and Henderson, I think. Oh, you put me on the spot here now. So I haven't even thought about that match. I was thinking about Kane versus Dos Santos, but if I had to pick, I'm gonna pick Dan Henderson. I'll pick Dan Henderson. I think I'm gonna pick a boring decision win. 3 rounds. Decision win. Oh, 5 rounds, actually 5 rounds. Is it a main event?
Yeah, main event. Yeah.
I think he'll win by decision. I haven't thought about that fight much either, but if I had to, who I want to win, I think I'd like Brock to win. Actually, I like Brock Lesnar, believe it or not. I want to see him do well. Like, you know, he climbed the top of the tree in the WWE and forgot all of that and then started at the bottom of the UFC, and now he's working his way up and was a former champion. I'd really like it if he could win. And I think if he works on his striking and he sets up his takedowns, he'll take down over him.